We can use okay, first started as a friendship, right? So we could find evidence that it started like as friendship. Later on, it became love.
Yeah.
And that's the reason they got married, because they fell in love together.
Hey, how about appearance versus reality?
Friendship.
Yeah, with Mark.
Yeah, but it wasn't all appearance. Okay, even though she was like explaining like how he looked or whatever, it wasn't. She kept talking about his age a lot.
But
yeah, but he never understood her that much.
I wouldn't say that he didn't understand her that much. He was just trying to like open up Sophie and see who the real Sophie is. That's basically what he was doing.
Oh, so we can use that as adolescence.
But aside from that, I'm not talking about like what I mean with Mark. Appearance and reality is he had so much money that he searched everywhere for like foods that reminded him of home. But like nothing seemed right because it's somewhere in the book. I'll search for it.
Okay, so we have everything we need. Family.
Poverty comes out. So what we picked.
Okay.
Poverty is also.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah. So when Junior came to America, they didn't really mention it, but like you know he struggled with it because he said, I just want to finish high school. When Betha was saying he wanted to college, he was like, no, I just want to get through high school first and get that over with. So you get what I'm saying with that? Yeah.
So basically to conclude it, I think Danticat and Diaz is for an individual himself to the subjects of family and immigration. Because those are the two main topics that he explored, subjects that he explored to this book. Family and immigration.
Well, yeah, in a way,
How would you feel that?
their
Do you feel
fathers,
that the mother affected Sophie in a big way?
I think their fathers, both their fathers had a really big impact on how they live. Because, and basically think about it, you really think about it, they had a systematic
But pretty much, Sophie and Junior, they both, when they were young, they had this missing link to their lives, which was their parents.
Yeah, but
And basically,
when you have to look at Sophie versus like her parents and your family, like it's like.
And she goes to me, you know, I like the way you are. And I go, why?
What did she say to you?
I like the way you are.
Okay,
And I go, why? You know, what's good or bad about me? She goes, because even though you live here, and you know here, you know, kids are different here. You know, from here, they like English a lot. So everybody talks English, you know. It's not like you're at home, you only talk Spanish at home. Well, me, I'm the person that I don't care who you are or where you're from. I'm always going to talk some Spanish. You know, I'm going to be that Spanglish person that you know. Like if I say, oh, yeah, well, you know, what's up? And, you know, that's me. But I think it grows stronger due to the fact that I don't have my country anymore, you know, that I can relate to. So here I have to come, you know, and show people, okay, where I'm from and who I am. I just can't change. I can't change for anybody.
Guys, your voices, please.
Like, yeah, like weekends, for example, my parents get together, they cook, you know, we try to keep it really Ecuadorian. Really Ecuadorian because people don't know it here. People think just what's here is good. I guarantee you that if they try something from somewhere else, they're going to go, no,
Do you think that
Page 27, showing how no love. Okay, so go to page 27 right there. Is this one?
So you guys agreed that.
Yeah, he said our fights. Our fights didn't bother me too much. I still want him to love me, something that never seemed strange. He never had love from his dad, you get me?
Right, and then later in page 41, we see how he doesn't have hope.
Because he feels like,
what page was it?
page 41 says, I tried to imagine Papi before Mommy. Maybe I was tired or just sad, thinking about the way my family was. Maybe I already knew how it would all end up in a few years, Mommy without Papi. And that's why I did it. Picturing her alone wasn't easy. It seemed like Papi had always been with her, even when we were waiting in Santo Domingo for him to send for us. That's how. And this really touches me because, well, also in this page, in page 69, It says, I lived without a father for the first 9 years of my life. And it really touched me because I didn't live with my dad till I turned 9. I was in Honduras. And then I never lived with him. He was in America. So I'll be with my mom. So I don't like when people be like, oh, the girl is always
The daddy's little girl.
daddy's little girl, because that's not true. You know, I was never raised with my dad. So I feel like he touches me because, like, Junior would feel the same way. He wouldn't feel love. Like it said on page 27, like he also said, our fights didn't bother me too much. I still wanted him to love me, something that he never seen. Strange, because his dad never showed him love. You get me? His dad was never there for him.
And you think this affected him
In school,
when he came to America? How was his experience at school, and how does that relate to what you went through?
well, it was also hard for him because when he came here, he would be in the class by himself.
He isolated.
In the back.
In the back, he would sit in the back, and he couldn't even talk to the teachers. He couldn't even conversate with his partners because of the fact that he didn't know English. That's how it touches me too. Because when I came to America, when I turned 9, I came here and I didn't know English. I had to learn English. And it touches me because it would be the same thing with me. I would be in the class all alone. I'll sit in the back. And even when I wanted to go to the restroom, I couldn't be like, oh, I couldn't raise my hand and be, oh, can I use the restroom? Because I didn't know the words to say.
And your teachers didn't spoke Spanish, so
And
they
they didn't
couldn't
speak
aid you.
Spanish, so I feel like I would.
You're isolated.
So you
I was
think
by
it's
myself, so I feel like now I feel like Junior is homesick as well, because he says that he wants to know how does it feel, you know, to be in Santo Domingo. He wants to know how it feels.
Your mind can hate it. So I think that's what helps you keep moving. Remember at the beginning you used to say, remember how you used to say, oh, people are worried, what if I get confused these two books? You can't. And now I get it, you can't, because this one right here and this one right here have two different languages involved with the English. If the Haitian words help you keep your mindset in this book, you can read both books at the same time. But if you have that, you know, those words coming up to you, then you know exactly where you're standing in the book. I can picture myself in the street, like, or wherever they're talking about the camps or the sugar canes. I can picture myself because of using that language.
So how does it enrich their story, you know, about Diaz and Diaz using Spanglish and Danticat using Creole? And, like, how does that contribute to the story? To keep the roots strong?
It adds to their home country. Because when I was reading this, at first,
You said to keep their roots strong, and you wanted to continue.
when I was reading it, I was confused because I thought that if this would have been a book solely wrote in Creole, but was over here in America, you wouldn't understand it. I mean, the Haitians would understand that it's a girl that only spoke Haitian when she first got here and then learned English. And that's how she did it. But right here in the beginning, when it talks about when she was smaller, and it emphasized that her mom was speaking to her in Creole because she did not understand English. And even though she came here, it took her a while to get used to it. But I was thinking about it when I was reading. If the words had not been here, I would have skipped over that detail and just assumed she spoke English because the whole book was written in English. But if it would have been only in Creole, then I wouldn't have been able to read it. So she still adds that to let you know that, yeah, she's from Haiti. Yeah, that's her culture, her background. That's her first language.
But why was it important for Danticat and Diaz to inject English? I mean, rather their home origin. Why was that important for the protagonist, that story?
I think because that's who they are, and they.
What do you mean by that's who? What does that mean by that's who they are?
Because that was, like she said earlier, that was their first language, and like he said, it's their roots. So they want to add a little bit of where they are and where they come from, and you know what they're really about, like their culture, like their environment over there.
So who they are is where they come from?
No, not who they are is where they come from, but it builds who they are as a person. It makes them just a little bit of, like, their country makes a little tiny piece of who they are, and they take it everywhere. Exactly.
You know how they're from the same island?
They're from the same area.
Okay, it's divided in half.
It is.
And then it's showing, the way I see it now that she's saying that, how can one place
Come
be
together.
totally different? You know what I'm saying? Again, if you mention Haiti, mention Creole, you're in Haiti right now. Over here, you're in DR. So I'm guessing, I'm showing you how one same island can be two different things.
And
Just
how
because of
two
the two different names and two different type of roots
and
that
completely
they have.
different people and
Totally
personality.
different people, different type of workers, different type of atmosphere, different type of, different type of competitions at home, the daily life.
But, ladies and gentlemen, but what connects them, even though their language is different, but what connects them is history, and that's their colonial history, one with France and one with Spanish, right? That's number one. But what also connects, that common denominator is America. And bringing that English in, rather bringing that their home language and wrapping that around English and merging them together. That by them merging them, it creates a hybrid language. You know what I'm saying? And it's through that hybridity that of language that both protagonists, Junior and Sophie, are able to articulate this confusion. Because when you're putting two foreign things together, it doesn't join easily. It's this little discomfort, and this discomfort perhaps is a metaphor for their identity or issues of identity. You know what I'm saying? And that it is through the exploration of this language, this hybrid, that showcases the conflicts that they have with their parents in America, with their community in America, in their community back in DR and in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? So this emergence, or this coming together of languages, is really the form in which that the authors are able to express the challenges, but the triumphs, though, of both Sophie and can someone talk to me about? I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just thinking through this as you guys are conversing about language. Can someone tell me about a triumph that finally happens with this, that causes this kind of hybridity, I guess?
I think the question to the interview that he said, what makes an American?
Yeah.
I think not learning, doesn't matter if you learn English or not, that doesn't make you American the way I see it, because you know how I always say, third world countries, or anybody that comes here for a better life, they go, I just want to look for the American dream, which is, to have a nice house and have a nice, paying job and I can maintain my family. I just think it's about, first you have to mention where you're from to help you understand how is that you're going to be able to succeed here. And I think you keeping your roots and connecting them to the ones in America, it's what makes you strong. Because a person that comes with one hand in the front, one in the back, they don't know where they're heading. They're just throwing the fish around, hoping to get something back. So I think by them, showing who exactly they are, like Junior's dad. He came for something better. He struggled. That guy, washing dishes, doing everything he can. So I think you have to know yourself within first, or where you're from, in order for you to be somebody here. Don't forget about the English, because America is not about the English as it is now. It's not about your language. It's about who you are, because there's Hispanics, there's Hondurans, there's Nicaraguenses here, and none of them talk English, or most of them don't talk English. So I don't think America is just.
So
about
you're saying that. You're saying that being American is post-language.
Yes, there's no language.
It doesn't.
I think that,
Here I am.
To me, the language in the United States is not.
It's about who you are.
Yes.
It's what you contribute to our.
It's not about the English or you trying to fit in. It's about who you are. It's about who you are and who you want to be.
And what is that? What do you mean by who you are that makes
I
you
think
American?
nobody,
Like, what does that mean?
I don't think nobody has established something for you to get there. I think you make what you want here, and that's the freedom of here, that you can be who you want, and